on Tuesday, May the 26th. Good evening and welcome to the Trophy Club Town Council meeting. And I want to say thank you to everyone who's present, as well as if you're watching and are listening online. Because you know what? We appreciate your civic engagement. And one of those opportunities is to attend council meetings and keep abreast of what's going. You also have the opportunity to see your council people perform, and you also have the opportunity to meet other people in the community. So it's a perfect opportunity to stay in touch with us. We do have a quorum, even though there are two people out. We have Clark, who's in Italy, and I think Rylan is probably returning home from a vacation. So we do have a quorum, and thank you for being here. And I would like to, this will probably be a pretty short meeting, but we have some very esteemed guests to present to us, and we're looking forward to hearing from you. If you will please stand for the invocation by our pastor friend, Bill Eason.
Let us join together in prayer. Gracious and loving God, as we gather here tonight for this meeting of the Trophy Club Town Council, we do so mindful that this day follows Memorial Day, a day set aside to remember and honor the men and women who gave their lives in service to this nation. With gratitude and humility, we remember their courage, their sacrifice, and the families who still carry both pride and loss in their hearts. May we never take for granted the freedoms and opportunities secured at such great a cost. God, we also give thanks for this community we call home, for the families who build their lives here, for the schools, businesses, churches, and neighborhoods that shape this town, and for every person who quietly contributes to the common good. Before we begin our work tonight, steady us. Calm any anxious thoughts, soften any hardened edges, and help us to be fully present to one another. Give us wisdom as we consider important decisions. Give us humility to recognize that none of us has all the answers. And give us grace in the way we speak, listen, and respond. Tonight, we are especially grateful for those who continue to serve and to protect our community every single day. Our police officers, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and all first responders. For those who stand ready at every hour to answer calls for help. For those who bring calm in moments of crisis and compassion in moments of pain. God, we give you thanks. Protect them as they protect others. Strengthen them in body, mind, and spirit. Watch over their families who also carry the weight of service and sacrifice. And may this community never fail to honor and support them with gratitude and respect. In a time when division too easily finds its way into our neighborhoods and conversations, help us to resist the temptation to see one another as enemies. Guard us from fear, suspicion, and the pride that assumes our own understanding is complete. Remind us that love of community is strongest not when it demands sameness, but when it makes room for diversity, dignity, conscience, and respect. Teach us to hold our convictions with both courage and humility, and to remember that no political cause, no ideology, or no earthly power could ever matter more than our shared humanity and the responsibility to care for one another. We know that people gathered in and around this community do not all think alike, worship alike, love alike, or see the world alike. Yet we share streets and schools, hopes and concerns, joys and burdens. Protect us from words and actions that wound, exclude, or diminish others because they believe differently. We praise you for our diversity and our religious freedom, a freedom our country was built upon, that brave women and men gave their lives defending, preventing the political powers from defining and mandating what faith is or should be. Help us to remember what we share in common, that we are neighbors, we care about this town, and we want it to flourish because we are better together. Guide our decisions made in this room. May every conversation tonight be shaped by integrity, fairness, and compassion, especially toward those whose voices are not always heard. Strengthen our commitment to justice, kindness, responsibility, and service, and always remind us that we will never look into the eyes of someone that you do not love. And may the work done here tonight reflect a genuine love for our neighbor that brings hope, safety, and peace to this community. We entrust this meeting to you, Almighty God. Amen.
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 Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
You may be seated. Thank you. And we will open our meeting with public comments. Tammy, or any public comments?
We have two. You have one that you received in writing,
Yes,
which a
thank
copy of is placed on your dais from Patricia Kiefer regarding the two contracts on the agenda this evening. And you have a second one, Donna Kawasaki.
Donna, do you want to speak? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Donna Kawasaki, and I live on Edgemere Drive in Trophy Club, Texas. About 4 months or 6 months ago, I was asking what the exact date was. I explained that I had experienced cybersecurity breaches and that the royal family of Dubai had helped me recover those funds. And I had asked for the help of the Town of Trophy Club to facilitate the gains from those assets that were achieved through high-frequency trading. Multiple times I asked for meetings, and they were declined. I'd like to talk a little bit about strengths and weaknesses and what my strengths are and what my weaknesses are, and specifically the reason why I'm here to talk today. I have been asked to come here and to clap for myself, which is kind of a funny statement, but it basically is asking me to stand up for myself. And so I am doing that. I have 5 university degrees. I have led the growth of $6 billion businesses. I have also achieved more than $3 trillion in value. The $3 trillion in value was achieved because I went to National University of Singapore, and I was asked to do the plan for China. The chief economist for Singapore was my professor. That plan was very well received and very successful. The following year, I was asked to do a plan for India with my classmates. We presented to 5 Indian billionaires, and that also was very successful. From 2017 until today, I was an advisor on 9 industries and 46 charities. More than $1 trillion in value was gained. I moved to Texas in 2016, and I moved here after prayer, and I moved here for a very specific reason. Oftentimes, when we build businesses, those problems we solve or the innovations we bring to market take more than 2 years. And in California, we have very high turnover. People are required to change jobs because the cost of living is so exorbitantly expensive. But in the state of Texas, I have had theft every single year. The Trophy Club police know that my sister led the Drug Enforcement Agency for the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. My entire family had to go through a security clearance process that was...
Donna, your time is up. Thank you.
Okay, can I finish?
No, ma'am, we're finished. Thank you. You had 3 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I'm asking for a meeting for asset restoration.
Thank you. And you can finish that later, but right now your time is up. Thank you.
Okay.
Other speakers?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to the community spotlight, and I just have to tell you this, who knows what EMS means? Anybody? Speak up.
Emergency.
Emergency
Medical.
medical
Services.
services. That's EMS. They're a great group of people in our town that keep us safe, healthy, and responsive. And I just had to introduce you, Chief EMS. Come on up. I mean, you know, we use acronyms all the time, and many times we don't know what they mean. And so EMS means emergency medical.
I thought it was every meeting's short, like this one.
That's
That was the other
But you,
wrong, yeah.
but you dared not say it, so there you go. EMS.
I can take a hint, Councilman Flynn. No problem. Good evening, Madam Mayor and Council, and thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak about EMS Week on the Community Spotlight. So last week, May 17th through the 23rd, was EMS Week. And essentially, this is, there it is. Let me get that going here. All right. Essentially, that's the annual national observance dedicated to honoring the contributions of our EMS professionals. Occurs in the third full week of May. It's organized by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's Office of EMS and in partnership with the American College of Emergency Physicians. So each year it has a theme. As you see up there, it says improving outcomes together. So the 2026 theme emphasizes the collaboration, the collaborative nature of EMS work and how EMS professionals work across many disciplines, like with 911 dispatchers, healthcare providers, public agencies like the Texas Department of State Health Services, fire services, law enforcement, and more, all to deliver the best possible care possible. So EMS Week allows us to do two things. One, recognizes the life-saving work of EMS professionals throughout our community. If I could, I want to introduce these folks in the back. This is A shift in the fire department. We have 3 shifts, A, B, and C. This is A shift.
Would you please bring them up here so we can all, so everyone in the town can see them
To
on
see them?
video?
Can-
Come
We're
on.
going to bring them up in
Come on,
a little
18.
bit
Oh, you
for a
are?
picture. Is that okay to do
No,
that?
No, bring them up now,
Bring
because I
'em
want
up
to know their names.
You heard the mayor.
I want us to know their names.
No problem.
Even though we may forget them, we
No
still want to
problem.
know them.
So,
Thank you guys for being here. Sorry,
right.
Jason.
It's okay, not a problem.
I'm the mayor, I can tell you.
Well,
Right.
she's wielding that stick tonight.
That's it. All right, so starting here over on the left, it's going to be Jesse. So Jesse Slaughters, Carrie Ferguson, we have Brad Teal, Kevin Arrington, and Colton Grimsley. They all have a variety of experiences, and if someone calls 911 in our town and they're feeling sick or injured and they need the ambulance, they have a 33% chance that it's going to be this crew that comes and takes care of them. But every one of our shifts, all of our personnel, they're all competent and caring individuals, and I couldn't be more proud of every one of them and to work alongside them. So we're going to start with a picture at the end of this. We'll finish up with a picture, okay? So
Or you
may-
can
may
stay,
be
you
seated.
can stay up here if you like.
But that is A shift. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, guys. And then, when you come back up, we're going to ask everybody to tell us your names.
All right, so another thing that EMS Week allows us to do is promote public awareness of our services, okay? So if you've ever been to the fire station, you may have seen our ambulances, maybe around town. It is a fine piece of machinery. It's a beautiful apparatus, inside and out. We have great equipment, and we have some of the best technology, all for providing that high level, that quality patient care. And that's because all that's funded by our citizens, approved by our town manager, and by this council. So we are extremely grateful to have that support. So, some of our other services that you might find, if you go to TrophyClub.org, you'll see on the website, it'll say departments, and you can look under the fire departments. Inside of that department website, those web pages, you're going to see some of our department programs. I bring these up, just a few of them, because they're EMS related, okay? First of all, our hands-only CPR program. It's free. Every one of these are free. So we provide hands-only CPR training to the public. This is a simplified version. It's recommended by for bystanders who witness an adult collapse due to a sudden cardiac arrest. It's a little different than the conventional CPR. Conventional CPR, you may remember, you got a head tilt, chin lift, you got to put your mouth on theirs, you got to breathe for them. Well, hands-only CPR is very effective. In fact, studies show that survival rates are virtually identical to conventional CPR as the blood already contains oxygen. So it empowers these bystanders to act quickly and do something, and they're not too nervous about doing mouth-to-mouth or something incorrectly. Another program we have is the Automated External Defibrillator Program, designed for the ordinary person in the extraordinary moment, in that sudden cardiac arrest. We have about 15 of these things, and they're strategically located throughout the city. Next program we have, again, free. Child Passenger Safety Technician Program. This is a certification that 3 of our firefighters have gone through, and it's administered through the Safe Kids Worldwide Partnership with the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration. So our technicians will give education or provide education to the caregivers, where you're a grandparent or a parent, a nanny or a babysitter, what have you. But it's all about the safe installation and use of those child seats, okay? Again, free, but it does require an appointment. And then last but not least, we have a Response Ready program. This is a free, voluntary program that provides basic information about the resident or their needs, okay? It can provide home access to us, special assistance if needed through a child or maybe an elderly person. There's general awareness, and Trophy Club people love their pets, right? So they can provide information on their pets. And then, of course, their emergency contacts. All of this is information we put in our computer, and if we get dispatched to that location and all of that information pops up on our computer as we are en route. And that helps us gain access to you quickly. Again, all free.
I want to say that our fire department is ahead of the curve. We have fire departments around the area that do not offer this response ready. And because I've been saying what a great fire department we have in EMS, they're going to be offering it as well. So I do want you to know that we are staying ahead of the curve. So thank you, Chief, for doing that.
Yes, ma'am. Our pleasure. Okay, so I'd like to introduce this well-dressed gentleman right here. Come on up here, Dr. Hancock. So most people may not know this, but all EMS agencies have to have a medical control system. All right, you can't just go out and get certified as a paramedic or licensed as a paramedic and then just run around and be a paramedic and start treating people. You can't do that. You have to have oversight. There's policy and all kinds of things like that. Our medical control system is called Best EMS. It is a lot of different jurisdictions and agencies all combined together under one umbrella. And inside that medical control system, we get assigned a medical director. And that's this gentleman right here, Dr. Rob Hancock. He is the clinical backbone of our EMS operations. So I've got some bullet points up there. It's about 6 of them, and that's only a few of the things that he oversees. All the protocol approval, training oversight, chart review, everything. We could not operate in the state of Texas legally without his approval. We actually work under his license, okay? So he is that clinical backbone of our EMS operations, and we love him for 2 reasons. More than just 2, but these are the most important. So first of all, we appreciate him so much because he comes from an EMS background. He was a paramedic. He started out as a paramedic. He worked on an ambulance. So he understands what we see. He understands what we do, what's our limitations, what our capabilities are, and what our scope of practice is. So and what a great advocate he is for us. Most importantly, he understands the relationship between paramedic and physician and the relationship between pre-hospital setting and the hospital setting. So again, a great advocate for us. Well, fun fact. So Dr. Hancock and I both worked as flight medics for CareFlight back in 1998 at Methodist in Dallas. We didn't work together on the helicopter, but our paths definitely crossed. So in 2022, I was appointed fire chief, and Captain Beck sticks his head in my office and he says, medical director's gonna come meet you today. No problem, great. So he walks in the office, we start chatting, and I instantly start to remember, and we start reminiscing about the CareFlight days and everything. And at the end of our meeting, I said, you know, wow, just how awesome and how cool is that to have a medical director that's he's now our medical director. How cool is that? Anyway, after he left, I immediately began, questioning my life choices. I don't know, firefighter, paramedic, physician, I don't know.
Doctor.
Yeah, so great to have him. But the second reason we like him also is that he's a local resident. Lives in town, and he has been for a while. That makes him accessible to us. He teaches our classes. He stops by this fire station to see how we're doing, talk protocols, things like that. He builds relationships with those folks right back there. And most importantly, he is invested in this community and the quality of care that we're providing under his oversight, okay? So I'm gonna turn it over to him. He's gonna speak a little bit more about what he does. But I do wanna say on behalf of the town and the department that I just want to thank you for being such a great advocate and a good leader, and most of all, for your trust in us. So I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Wow, I'm not sure I can live up to that introduction. Thanks, Chief. So a little bit, he kind of listed some of the stuff I do. So basically, we have protocols that we developed. We now have 8 physicians. We all collaborate between us. We probably are medical directors for 95% of these areas around here. I also cover Roanoke, Westlake, Euless, multiple other agencies as well. So, yeah, a lot of what I do, write the protocol, we're always forward-looking. We bring in research. If we're not sure about something, we got a laundry list of interventional cardiologists, trauma surgeons. So we'll all argue, as physicians usually do, over something. We're like, we'll just settle it. We'll call Dr. Balo from Baylor Grapevine, see what his opinion is. So we get even outside opinions to make sure we're in line with what they want, because they get these patients, obviously, after we do. So the other thing is I'm available 24/7 for these men and women. If they're on a call, not sure what to do, something's out of the ordinary, not protocol, they dial a number. If I don't answer, it rings all other 7 guys at once. So they're going to get an EMS physician on the phone to talk about it. And we don't miss calls. We record all of them. It's a pretty good system. So that's kind of the other thing that we offer. And honestly, a lot of other EMS organizations don't offer that service. So a little bit about the department. I could honestly sit here for hours and talk about our capabilities and how great a job they do, I promise. I know they all want a short meeting, so I will try to stick to that. But obviously,
No, we don't want a short meeting. You can keep it
Okay.
going.
Well, don't, be careful. Be careful what you ask for. I put a lot of faith in them. I have absolute faith in them. They do an incredible job. They make my life easy. When I show up at the station, they got great questions. They want to know what the new research is on stuff. Like, they challenge me a lot of times, which is pretty cool. I'm going to talk about 2 things, just kind of give you an idea of some of the stuff we do. One of our big pushes is cardiac arrest resuscitation. Chief Wise commented on hands-only CPR. I encourage everybody to learn that. There's only been 2 things that have ever been proven in resuscitation to save lives: CPR and early defibrillation. The rest is very expensive window dressing. Those are very cheap. So really important, the number 1 predictor of survivability is bystander CPR. That's been proven over and over again. We monitor all of our resuscitation outcomes. We keep databases, all this stuff. We see who's got the best survivability, what agencies. And right now, in Trophy Club, if you have a cardiac arrest, you're 3 times more likely to survive than the national average, which is pretty remarkable. And this is survival, meaning you walk out of the hospital, you're a normal person, you're not neurologically impaired. So we call it the discharge neurologically intact is how we refer to it. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that's
Why is that? Why do we have such a high?
one is the performance here.
Okay.
You watch these men and women do CPR on somebody, I'm jealous. I wish I could get my ER staff to do things as fast and efficiently as they do. And we fairly quick response times. And the other thing is, in this community, there are a lot of people that know CPR.
Really?
So we can take some credit. Part of it goes back to people being prepared in the community. But we look at that across our agencies, and historically, we've been 2 to 3 times the national average, typically across all of our agencies. It was a big push for us from the start, was improving cardiac arrest survivability. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about another scenario. This is a little more cutting edge, something we're doing and works really well, and that's management of stroke care. And the technology has advanced dramatically in the last 10 years on this. So you can imagine you're at home, you suddenly can't move one side of your body, you can't speak, your family member calls 911. These men and women show up, and within a couple of minutes, they do a quick evaluation. They determine, is this what we call likely a large vessel occlusion, which is what most people call a major stroke. That means one of the major arteries in your brain usually has a clot blocking it. All the blood flow is cut off to that section of the brain. And the thing with brain, that's not like most other tissues, it doesn't regrow. You lose part of your brain, it's gone for the rest of your life. And that happens as time moves forward. The longer you're going with that blood flow, the more damage there is. So they quickly assess that, and then they have an app on their phone. And they will punch in some basic patient information, and LVO suspected, goes to Baylor Grapevine, which is the only comprehensive stroke center in the area. It alerts the ED physician, if that happens to be me. It alerts the stroke neurologist. It alerts what we call the neurointerventional specialist. These are highly specialized radiologists, and I'll get into what they do a little bit. And so it alerts the whole team. So you're still in your house. You haven't even gotten to the ambulance yet. They're preparing to intervene before you even leave your home. And so a lot of times, some of these guys, when I would work, they would punch in the stuff, and 5 minutes later, the neurointerventionist would call me and be like, well, what does the patient look like? I'm like, they're not here yet. I don't know. So they're already preparing on their end. So they do their stuff, start an IV on you, do all the conventional stuff, cardiac monitor. You get to the ER, you don't go to a bed. You go straight to the CAT scanner. And typically, you're going to be met by the emergency physician, which could be me, and the stroke neurologist, usually at the bedside. So within 3 minutes, you have CT of your head, you have CT angiography of the blood vessels in your brain. Thank God to technology. This used to take like 20 minutes. Now it's about 3. Typically, the neurointerventionalist is in front of his computer refreshing, waiting for the images to come up. And then a call is made either way, and they look at it and say, yeah, I can go do something with that. So likely, you go straight from CT to the neurointerventional suite, which is kind of like the cardiac cath lab for the brain. They go in through an artery, put a wire in, shoot a quick angiogram, grab the clot with a device, pull it out, blood flow is restored, stroke's terminated.
Right.
Now, without the system we're using, that process would have started when they got to the ER. So now you've killed 20 minutes. 20 minutes is a lot of brain. And so we heavily rely on them. You know, their clinical judgment, and even the specialist at Baylor will tell you, more often than not, they're right. There are times we get fooled, I get fooled. You know, and it winds up not being a big stroke. When it is, often you're there 25 to 30 minutes and they've already retrieved the clot. The stroke's terminated, and most of these people by the next day are neurologically normal and walk out of the hospital. 10 years ago, if you had a large vessel occlusion, your 2 options were basically death or nursing home. There was not much we could do. And this process kind of tells you how we've integrated technology, but also heavily depend on their judgment and assessment skills. That starts the whole system, you know, which is it's crazy to think about, because we used to think about medical care from the time you got to the ER on through your stay. Now we're reassessing that. It's when EMS touches you. That's when things get rolling. And so we've been able to highly integrate all that stuff. We do the same thing with heart attacks and other stuff. But it's just kind of an illustration of how important they are. They're the start of the chain. And every one of those minutes that gets wasted is huge. So my hat's off to them. They do a great job. And I greatly appreciate their work. We give them feedback. They're always eager. What can we do better? Constantly. You know, how can we improve this? And that makes me look at how can I improve things? And so it's good. It's a good system. We have a great group of doctors that back me up as well. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for your time. Like I said, I could talk for hours about this stuff. I'm very proud of what they've done.
Questions, yeah.
But, yeah, any questions?
Yeah, I do have one, Rob. The hands-on CPR class, how long is that?
It's brief. I was about to say, he'll
No,
know better than I'd.
How long in duration?
It's a
brief.
quick class, yeah.
It's a very quick class.
Yeah.
You could be in there, if you schedule, like if you have a church group or family and you schedule an appointment, we could be in there for 30 minutes to an hour, so.
I'm thinking mayor, the council ought to go through that.
I agree.
In one of our workshops. I mean,
Honestly,
Why
it's so straightforward, I could probably teach anybody
no.
10 minutes. Yeah, there's not much to it, which makes it nice, because people will actually do
It'd be
it.
great.
When you're asking people to put their mouth on somebody and breathe for them, that gets a little dicier. But we found not only do you already have oxygen, as you're doing compressions, it's actually moving air in and out, which is enough to keep the organs alive. So there's really not much advantage to doing conventional CPR. And people will actually do it. That's what matters.
I have a question too. Hey, Doc, when you talk about protocol, do you mean the steps that are followed when they arrive somewhere and these situations come up, what they do
Yeah,
exactly?
so my current protocols are about 300 pages, I think, 200 and something. By contrast, when I was a paramedic, my protocols were 60 pages. So we're asking them to do increasingly more all the time. Fortunately, we have them in digital form. They can pull them up. They're hyperlinked. So they can go to the table of contents, says cardiac arrest. They hit that, it goes straight to the protocol. And it's stepwise. These are your steps of what you do. Same thing, difficulty breathing, asthma, all different trauma protocols, separate for pediatrics. So they're highly organized. It took many years and a lot of work to get to where we're at now. But they're they're highly complex, I would say, like
Great.
way more than I was ever asked to do as a medic. So sometimes I kind of even think, how much more can we ask here? But they want to do it, you know, and they're willing to learn. So, and the more they're willing to learn, I'm there to teach them. I'm happy to do it. I can tell you, I wouldn't be where I was without EMS. That's what got me interested in medicine. So I feel like I owe a lot back to that community. I would not be here were it not for starting off as a paramedic.
Well, the one thing I know about EMS is don't hesitate. Call.
Yeah.
That's my final
We're
message.
always happy to come check anybody out and
Don't hesitate.
go from there. Yeah, that's the mistake people make. Oh, I don't want to bother them with this. And it's something like this, a stroke that's time sensitive, a heart attack, you know, and you're wasting time. They come get you, you have a heart attack, the cardiologist knows before you leave the house. They're already there. Middle of the night, a lot of times, they will beat the patient from home because they're ready to go. So, yeah, that's one of the keys. You're not wasting anybody's time. I tell people in the ER all the time, I find nothing, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry I wasted your time. I was like, no, you didn't waste anybody's time. That's what we're here for.
And it's distressing when I hear of a friend who waited and tried to pick somebody up or whatever. It delays life.
Yeah, no, stroke especially,
Yes,
historically, I've
yes,
seen more catastrophic cases where people waited, oh, we waited 30 minutes, see if we get better, or we did this.
exactly.
You don't do that. You lose a brain, you lose a brain. It's extremely important. And a lot of times we find nothing. I'm happy when I find nothing, that's fine.
Anything else? Any other comments? Dennis? No? Good?
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank
Thank
you all
you
for
so
having me,
much.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Mayor, would you like that picture?
Bring them on
Would you
up.
like that picture
Yeah.
right here? Would y'all stand behind?
Yes, we will.
Would y'all come up and get a picture?
Y'all get to come back up.
Are you going to say their names again?
Yeah, say their names again.
Right?
Mr. Flynn, can you come over on the other side of Mr. Nelson? There you go. Right, there, perfect, okay, got it. Got it.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. That was very good. Okay, we are next for our next presenter, and that is CWD, our community should we ask about your acronyms as well?
CWD, pretty simple, Community Waste Disposal.
There you go. And they will present to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Town Council. My name is Jason Raymer. I'm the president of Community Waste Disposal. I'm joined this evening by Wanda Smith, your municipal coordinator. And today we're going to cover really the last 12 months, what's gone on and, during the trash transition and a little bit of updates about our company. I'm going to move pretty quick through some of these slides. They're more for the public, just reminding folks what services we do offer. So trash is collected twice per week. Each one of the trucks that we run in Trophy Club is all compressed natural gas. They're equipped with that rear tag axle that you see raised in this photo. When that truck gets full, it gets lowered to the street, drives to the landfill, empties the truck. That tag axle helps preserve the city streets. You won't see it typically lowered in your neighborhood. It's more when they hit the major thoroughfares because they don't turn too well. But each one of our trucks is compressed natural gas as well. Bulk is collected 4 cubic yards on your second service day, so either Thursday or Friday. With that, you can put out unlimited tied and bundled brush. And 1 cubic yard of bulk is roughly the size of a washing machine, if you think about it that way. Recycle is collected once per week in a standard issued 18-gallon recycling bin. Residents can have up to 3 of those at no additional charge or choose to move to a 95-gallon recycle cart for an additional fee per month. And there's roughly almost 800 residents that have chosen to upgrade to the recycling cart that you see here in this picture. So a little bit of the stats that we've experienced over the last 12 months. So here I showed the recycled tons collected. So congratulations, over the last 12 months, Trophy Club's recycled nearly 1,000 tons, or I guess that's, about 1,100 tons over the last 12 months. And that's shown here in those monthly tables. As typical, we see a big spike in December, a lot of Amazon packages, things like that. but we're seeing very standard, good numbers in the town of Trophy Club. Customer inquiries. So these are any missed pickups, complaints, if you want to call them, that are both received by CWD directly or submitted to the town directly, which then is forwarded to us. So it encaptures everything that's reported. We call them inquiries because they're really grievances. It's somebody feels wronged. They were missed, or the driver looked at them wrong, or drove too fast. We're not here to prove that resident wrong. We record it and we track that data by city religiously at our company, and we report all this information to town staff several times throughout the day, and also rolled up in a monthly report. As expected with most transitions, June and July last year when we took over services, it's pretty standard to see more calls, more grievances, more people getting accustomed to a new schedule, a new pickup time, a different crew that may do things just slightly different than they've had before. Then, as we normally expect, those numbers do fall off, which is what we saw, starting in August, and then, for the most part, continuing throughout to where we are today. The spikes we kind of saw in November and especially January are typically related to leaf volume and things that we see in unique cities like Trophy Club, where there's lots of mature trees, and all those trees like to shed their leaves, and all those leaves end up in bags at the curb, and usually within a couple-week period. So that's as expected, but it never breached what we see as a red flag. We saw the numbers go up. When volumes go up, that means the system's working, but it did stay well below what we call the industry threshold, which is 1 per 1,000. So this ratio here is broken down in a per 1,000 pickup. It simply standardizes that data rather than say I have a 99.99% success rate. We break it down in a per 1,000 pickup so that when you can see those spikes when issues do occur.
Well, that's really interesting, though. February, there were no complaints?
So that would be 0.3.
I can't see the.
Yeah, so 0.03 is the number, and I don't have the monthly totals in front of me, but that might have meant there was 1 or 2
Yeah.
grievances that month.
Wow. And in March, not that many.
Yep, and I'm pleased to know, April was very low as well. So, these are very good numbers. This is what we like to see. That usually just means consistency with our crews and staffing and things like that. And this chart is the poster child of what we like to see, a transition kind of heading towards those lower numbers. Another thing we track is our driver incidents, and this is kind of a per 100,000 service opportunities. We really just put that on the slide to let you know that we're normalizing that data. This encapsulates anything that reached our safety department or went through a claim. So this could be a rut, it could be a mailbox that maybe was backed into, that we had to replace or work with a resident to reimburse. Not too much method to this madness, more than to let you know we track this by all of our cities. So all that information is kept, throughout the duration of the contract.
And then you deal directly with the resident?
We do, the majority of the time. Sometimes when Encore or Atmos or somebody's involved, if we hit a gas meter or power line, there could be some coordination. But more often than not, if we cause a rut or hit a mailbox, they contact us, we give them a claim, and it goes through the process. So Doorside Household Hazardous Waste and Used Electronics. This was a new program that started with the CWD contract. This involves up to once per month or 12 times per year, residents can contact CWD. They can call us, email us, use our mobile app. What we do is we mail you a kit, and that kit is 1 or 2 30-gallon bags. It's got labels for your paint cans, all the different hazardous waste that you have, oxidizers, batteries, you name it. You place it in the bag with the instructions, and then we'll come and pick it up on that designated day, which, for example, could be like the 3rd Wednesday. It'll be written on your packet. You put it out at your doorside or halfway up your curb so it's not to contaminate the trash, and we'll come and pick that up. All that material is brought back to our TCUQ certified facility where we separate it and recycle it appropriately. And then all this information is reported back to staff on our monthly consolidated reports. So the leaf recycling program. This was a new program that was offered to the residents to solve an ever-changing issue of bagged leaves. So before, all plastic bagged leaves were, thrown with the trash and taken to the landfill where they're dumped and buried in tons and tons of trash. And what we've developed in working with some of your surrounding neighboring cities, the Keller, Colleyville, Southlake, and now Trophy Club, is this leaf recycling program where about a 6 or 8 week period, we designate Wednesdays and Saturdays, kind of splitting the town in half, where we'll come by and pick up all the leaves at the curb, whether they're in plastic bags or brown craft bags. We bring those back to our facility, as you kind of see here in these pictures, make a massive mountain of bagged leaves, and then we run skid steers and we use some of our recycling worker labor to help debag those leaves. And then we load it up in roll-off trucks or transfer trailers and drive it to Living Earth, which is down the street from us, where it gets turned into compost. So it's a full cycle, and it's really to address a massive influx of material that hits the curb. Our model's built by pounds at the curb, more pounds, more truck, more labor, more disposal, you name it. So this allows us, a different schedule to get that material picked up while also keeping that out of the landfill. So this leaf season, we saw almost 200,000 pounds, so that's almost 200 tons of, or almost 100 tons, excuse me, of leaves that were picked up and then recycled. So just a few slides on some updates with the company. In 2024, we did a $20 million bond with the Dallas County to fund some infrastructure updates. So number one was we completed a compressed natural gas parking expansion. Prior to that, we had about 150 trucks and 100 parking spots. So our entire facility looked like Tetris every Sunday, trying to move trucks to get them in and out. We now have the capacity to park about 270 trucks at our facility. Number two was we expanded our transfer station. So that was completed last May, where we have the ability to bring waste to our facility, dump it on a big concrete floor, load it up in a big trailer, and drive it down to Skyline in Ferris, Texas, where it's very cheap to dump. What does this allow us to do? It allows us to put a ceiling on what landfills can charge us. Landfill rates do go up, but there's a certain threshold where I can bring it to myself, load it up, and drive it far away. So that's important for our cities. It allows us to control those costs long-term, 10, 20 years from now. Number three, and I'll talk about this a little bit more in another slide, we just completed last month our Material Recovery Facility, or MRF, upgrade. That's where we process all the single-stream recycling that we pick up from nearly 260,000 homes per week. And on that slide, we'll kind of show more detail what that looked like. And then number four, this past Monday, we broke ground on constructing a brand-new maintenance facility. We'll go from about 10 maintenance bays today to about 24 when that's completed, hopefully by January 1st of this year. So a lot of construction going on right now. It's kind of chaotic, but a lot of good things that are showing our investment in Dallas and North Texas, not in other cities, for other customers. So these are all very good things for our customers, we believe. So about that material MRF, I'm going to call it, upgrade. On the left, the black and white, it's not going to mean too much to stare at this, but that was our old facility drawings. Yes, that's how old it was, about 30, 40 years old. It was very manually sorted, all the material that we collected. The new system is much more automated. It's got cameras, compressors, AI, optical sorting, and things like that. And I'm going to show you a quick 1.5-minute time-lapse video of just what that looked like to install this. So we started in December, where we installed about half of that equipment while we were still operating our plant. We then shut down for 8 weeks, at which point we took all of our recycling and diverted it to other processors. So we didn't landfill anything. We just stored it, loaded up, and took it to other people to process. And then this was completed in April 20th of this year. So it was a massive undertaking, the single largest investment our company's ever made, and we'd certainly love to have staff and council and mayor yourself out. Usually I like to say later in the year when it gets a little cooler. Right now it's really hot and humid and not very fun to walk around a literal trash facility or recycling plant. So just know that that is available to you all if you would like to set that up in the near future. So again, I talked about the maintenance project. This just shows some of the site plans, what we're doing. That's the existing building, the number 2, where we have our container shop, our paint booth. We process household hazardous waste. We're going to build a 7-bay by 2, so 14-bay high maintenance facility, renovate the inside, move our operations over there, double our break room, things like that. Again, just investing in the infrastructure that helps run our equipment. So in November, we transitioned our back office solution to SoftPack. This just brought paperless routes to our front load trucks, so they have tablets in them now. It's a more efficient system. It allows us to track more information, report it back to staff. Really just makes us more efficient, is what I'm here to tell you there. But that's where we log all of our customer calls, grievances, things like that. And then lastly, the equipment orders, just to let you know that we're always looking forward about 18 months in advance. Later this week, we'll be doing our 2027 order. But by the end of this year, we'll receive about 35 collection vehicles, 13 replacement, 13 our internal growth, and then we always have about 6 to 9 trucks built ready for us to start a new contract. And that's all to eliminate any pain our existing customers could have as we get more business, or hope to get more business in North Texas. And with that, I will pass to Wanda Smith, Municipal Coordinator.
Thanks, Jason. And Jason summed it up, so I really don't have a lot to say. We've been through these events, so it's not new. I see each of you that are sitting in this room at the event, so this is just really just a recap. But the first, am I using the mouse or am I using the? There we go. Okay, the paint program, Jason touched on the TCEQ certification that we have. We're allowed to do this, and communities do like this. If you ever have a situation where somebody wants to do some painting and they want some recycled paint to use, all of this paint is picked up at our hazardous waste events. So anytime you need paint, we've got a lot of it. We pick up a lot, we recycle a lot, break it, come home, break it down to our facility, and we keep it clean, and we put a little dollop on the top so you'll know what color you're getting, and we can distribute it to the community. Churches, organizations that do these charitable events are really receptive of this paint program. The other thing the next program that we love to talk about is our green events. This is our golf tournament that we did last year, which was a lot of fun. So we do these events just to make sure that we're recycling at these programs. We have our trash depots and our recycling depots out to make sure that we're recycling as in the process of having fun at the golf course. Another green event, this is our Montessori program that we did with the school, and there's another one coming up too next month. So Wonderland loves having the trucks out there and teaching the children a little bit more about recycling. And our community partner events, our breakfast with Tiffany, we love that. I've missed it last time, so I'll make sure I come next time, but in our Toys for Tots program, which I loved. That was a lot of fun, wearing a Santa hat, getting to see everyone. And sponsoring and supporting our school. So the Byron Nelson High School Band, we contributed to that. We love sponsoring that as much as possible. Our technology, and Jason also mentioned something about this as well. This is something that I always like to remind people that this exists. If you ever have trouble, questions about when do I pick up my trash, when do I put my recycling out, all these questions that come about in the trash world, especially when you get new residents in the community. Please direct anybody who has questions to the app. Everything's on there. You've got an Apple, Google, it doesn't matter which device you use, but please direct people, because I know it can get confusing. So this will also give you announcements and alerts and things like that. So I always press people to look at the app. Makes a big difference. You're welcome to call us anytime, but we certainly do love using that app, and your residents will as well. This Recycling Relief Fund, the initiative that was done in Central Texas, your contribution was very, very helpful. I know Trophy Club came out with a contribution of a donation value of $654.90 because we beefed up our August recycling efforts and were able to contribute that amount of money and then some to the recycling efforts. And then we also have savings from these events that we do. We were up to, and this is again 2025, but almost 8,000 trees, a little over 176,000 gallons of oil, and 3 million gallons of water, over 3 million gallons, and 1,500 yards landfill space, and 19 million, or 1,900,000 kilowatt hours of electricity. It's a lot to say on one slide, but it's a lot of savings, and we really appreciate it. And we want to share with you a gift of our appreciation, and it's the bench. And thank you, Chase, for finding an ultimate home for it. I've been tagging him quite a bit, trying to get that house somewhere. But it's a nice-looking bench, and it's made out of 100% recyclable materials.
Wow. Where is it going to be, Chase?
Hey.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
In Harmony Park.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I'll come out and get some pictures, so for next time. Thank you. Any questions?
Not a question, but a comment. You guys are such terrific partners, not only Touch a Truck and all the stuff you do at the town, but you also have worked at the Women's Club, you work at the Rotary, so they touch a lot of different areas in the community. So thank you.
We love to be involved. And if we ever miss an involvement, it's not on me because I look very closely. So you'll see me a lot in the community, so please feel
She's
free.
everywhere.
Reach out anytime. We love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wanda. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you for your work. All right, we are now going to Working for You. It's the time for the council to get to know the town by talking about anything that's important to you that you would like for the town to know. So who wants to go first?
Mayor, I'll go first.
Thank you.
I got a couple slides I want to share with the group.
Okay?
So this is some amazing knowledge that I want to share with everybody. So last week, the Northeast Fire Department Association had an annual meeting and get-together. And what's really interesting, a lot of time in this town, we see fire department as our trucks running up and down the highway, right? What's amazing with this group, whereas in North Texas, the fire departments work together to enhance emergency response, firefighter training, mutual aid, and public safety. So next time when you see the fire trucks running around town, well, you gotta understand there's a force multiplier behind it. Through our partnership with this association, we actually have 43 stations that this town can call upon to support us. That's huge, okay? 939 firefighters are part of this association, 27 fire engines, 20 ladder trucks, 31 ambulances. And the other thing also that was really interesting that I found, I was like a kid in a Hot Wheels store, is the different types of vehicles that we have. You'll see that one picture, the gentleman there, that is the command and control center truck. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen those on the movies where the FBI guys are in the room and like, give me a camera, I need a better angle, right? We actually have one of those that we can pull as a resource. And I believe, Chief, that actually belongs to, that's Dallas-Fort Worth Airport.
Yeah.
That's theirs that we can actually call upon. We also have Swift Water Rescue, and this one was actually surprising EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal. Didn't expect that one out of a fire department. But the great thing is, also, is that our own Chief Wife, serves as the first vice president on the board, so thank you, Chief, for your service. The greatest thing about this is that it just helps enhance our safety of our community. You'll see there, again, that's the command center truck on the right. All right, Chief, the one picture of the truck on the right, which one is that one? Because there was also one that supports the buildings.
It was
Heavy rescue.
Yeah.
And we've actually used that truck. Yeah. So just a quick note that appreciate Chief support, team support, so thank you.
It was very good. Thank you. Somebody else? Sean, no one? Anybody? I cannot believe you're going to let our memorial service go by.
I saw you had notes there, Mayor.
No,
I knew you,
go for
I knew
it.
you were ready to
Go
go.
for it. Come
It was
on.
fantastic. It was maybe one of the best ever. We had great speakers, as we always do. Thank you, Gary, for that. And perfect day, right? It was just a perfect day. Very moving, and just always enjoyable.
Any other comments? Well, I will say, too, that every time our memorial service, not only memorial, 9/11 will be coming up next. Then we will have our Veterans Memorial in November, and then we will have our Wreaths Across America. What I am so encouraged about is how each of these events continues to draw people from with our own community that come in and present themselves. We had a colonel. It's amazing how many veterans, as Gary is constantly saying, how many veterans we have in this town, and yet we're beginning to really connect with them, draw them in to helping them to be, and they instill upon us, they share their stories because, again, we want to remember, and we remember through stories. Any comment? No? Okay.
I thought
We
Tan.
do need to appreciate the two, there's several speakers, but the two major ones, Gary Ash, who's one of our council people, talked very nicely, and Mike Coe, the Marine Colonel, also talked fantastic, on point for Memorial Day.
They were just great.
And I thought Tan Parker's,
And-
you know, he's just inspiring when you listen to him. Just great.
And for those who don't know, Tan Parker is our state senator, and he actually lives in Flower Mound, and he's been a friend of Trophy Club for a long time, and he came as well.
Yeah, I'll just say that I was moved and humbled and inspired. And so thanks to everybody that was involved in putting it together, and the town, and the support, and we probably need more chairs next year.
Oh, yes. In fact, I think the chief of police back there, Chief Arata, said, how many, Chief, do you think? Close to 200 people were there. So 100 were sitting, and the other 100 stood for an hour and 15 minutes. So it was a great service. Thank you. And by the way, they come from everywhere. So it's not just Trophy Club. They come from.
And not only, we had fantastic support from our park department, thank you, Chase.
Yes.
But also citizen volunteers, Emily Laddish and Mindy Bone, really put together a fantastic ceremony.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's that kind of opportunity that we have to come together as a community. Thank you very much. Any other comments? Anybody else? I'd like to also, before we close this opportunity, two things. Number one, please, if you have not, please go to your Trophy Club website. Find the mental health survey. Is that still up, Brandon? It's still up, Tamara? Okay. Please find that. It's green. Click on it. It's a 10-minute survey, and we'll be closing that with when will we? End of the month. So you have 4 days. So please respond to it. It's very important to us. And second thing, I want to just remind us, we're getting ready to go into the season of flags. So if your community is beginning to gear this up, please go to the Trophy Club Stars and Stripes Facebook so that you can get your flags, you can order flags, you can buy flags, and you will know who to connect with. But we want to really bring out the flags this year, this 250th anniversary, and we've been committed to this for 15 years, and it's going to be a great year. So thank you very much in advance. Those are my two. Now, do we have time for Brandon? It's going to be a short
always
meeting,
have-
so I don't know. I don't
We
know.
can always skip over.
Okay, no, just kidding. Just kidding. Go for it.
Sure, yep, so Moving in the Park is coming up here. We have a family-friendly movie night under the stars, Harmony Park, on June 12th. We'll be featuring Jumanji. Remember, it starts at 8 o'clock, and we have the Capuchin Monkey meet and greet, probably the biggest part of that event there, and there will be photo opportunities as well. Movie starts at 8:45. Admission is free as always to our Movie in the Parks. Let's see, the applications will open on June 1st for town boards and commissions. So if you're interested in serving on a town board or commission, please go to our website and you'll be able to find information about applying there. Applicants must be United States citizens, registered voters, and Trophy Club residents for at least 6 months prior to appointment. That's it. If you meet those qualifications, you are able to apply to serve on our board or commission. You are subject to a background check as well. Let's see. Interviews are typically held in July and August, and appointments are made by the town council in September for terms beginning October 1st. Also, as a bit of accolades to our town secretary's office, they are the proud recipients of the 2026 Texas Municipal Clerk Association Achievement of Excellence Award. And it's a prestigious award given every 2 years, and we received this honor back in 2024. To qualify, offices must successfully meet and demonstrate high standards in areas including records management, election administration, public information and compliance, open meetings, professional certifications, department training, and innovative process improvements. And we are one of only 42 municipalities statewide to have to have received this honor. So please, a round of applause for.
Yeah.
Her office, they are fantastic. So Tammy Dixon, Maggie McCormick are also is also recognized in all of that. So thank you very much for their efforts. All right, upcoming boards and commission meetings. On May 27th, the Trophy Club Council for Arts and Council meeting will be at 6 p.m. On June 2nd, the Crime Control Prevention District meeting will be at 6 p.m. On June 4th, the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting will be at 6 p.m. And on June 15th, the Parks and Recreation Board meeting will be at 6 p.m. Remember that we do not have a scheduled normal second council meeting in June. So we'll have the first meeting on June 8th, but we will not have one later on that month. Okay. And as a reminder, Breakfast with Tiffany will be on June 15th at the Tom Thumb Starbucks. And come join us for some great discussion. And that's all I have this evening, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Consent agenda, excuse me. This part of the agenda consists of non-controversial or housekeeping items required by law. Items may be removed from consent by any council member by making such request prior to motion and vote.
We have a,
Yeah, Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda items 4 and 5.
Second.
Sean seconds that. All those in favor, raise your hand. All those opposed? Motion passes.
Individual items. Consider authorizing the town manager to negotiate and execute a construction contract with McMahon Contracting LP in an amount not to exceed $3,287,810.72 for the Bobcat Traffic Improvement Project.
Thank you. And Matt?
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a quick brief, back in 2024, Lee Engineering came and did the traffic study. November of '25, we brought the concept plan of the roundabout. And then earlier this year, TMP, we advertised the construction project. And then May 7th in this room, we opened the 7 bids that were submitted. Philip with TMP is here to take it away from there.
Thank you, Philip.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As Matt mentioned, we received bids for the project, and we went through a scoring process as mentioned in the bid proposal, and McMahon Contracting got the most points based on their bid price, time, qualifications, and references. And I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
What was their biggest difference? I remember they provided us, it was a timing issue for them as well.
Correct,
wasn't it?
yeah. And in terms of the scoring process, time was shorter on their end.
Yes.
So they got the most points. And also in terms of qualifications and references, they have done recent roundabout projects, and they're also a pretty large construction firm that can handle this kind of work.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions on this? Anybody?
They were about 30 days shorter than the second
That's,
choice.
I thought you'd said something like that, yeah. Which makes our time frame for this, can you want to, I'm not asking you to write it down, but just give us a,
Yeah,
Yes.
the plan is to start construction right after the July 4th event.
Okay.
For the town, and to get started the construction soon after that, and then within that 180 days calendar time that they've set. So hoping by early next year that we're completed with the project. There's a lot of construction sequencing and
Sure.
phasing that has to happen in terms of traffic control, especially with building a roundabout. You guys have already been through that once. So
That was a long time
it's just a conversation that we have to have with the contractor and also with all the patrons that are around that site, especially the school district, with their transportation facilities as well, and making sure that everybody's in communication.
excellent. Any other questions, comments? Do we have a,
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve agenda item number 6.
I'll second.
Steve seconds that, all those in, you want any discussion, all those in favor? All those opposed? Motion passes. 8:04, we're adjourned. Was-
Now, did we have to pay extra to have Philip here tonight?
Just for that, I don't know.
Oh, okay, all right. Just want to make sure, Philip.